youtube.com/sound.
Hey, what's up, Legion? My name is Sal, and this is another Expedition Log. Welcome to the Phase 7 premiere of the Exlog series. In this phase, we'll be visiting some of the most incredible dead malls in the United States, along with some abandoned ones, and a couple you may have never heard of. As always, I hope you're all well out there. I appreciate your patience with me, because I've been straight up demolished by work and concert seasons recently. But from this point on, I should be back to a more consistent upload schedule every few weeks or so with a new episode.
This traffic is absolutely insane. Oh my god.
At this point in the drive, a sudden wave of chaotic energy just swarmed around me. There were cars everywhere, out of nowhere, and people walking around on the side of the road, and it was familiar. 60 episodes ago, we visited the mall at the Source on Long Island, and the traffic that I encountered made me vow to myself never to visit again unless it was absolutely necessary. Well, we're headed out onto Long Island again because it was absolutely necessary. When I found out that there was a mall closing on Long Island that I only had about a week left to get out to, I took advantage of my time off, I got in my car, and I sat in traffic. I sat in this insane traffic to preserve what once was for future generations. And trust me, of anybody, I can't stand listening to myself complain and harp on the same thing. But I just want you all to feel a little bit what this drive was like. Look at this traffic though. It's insane. In the last 6 years of producing these videos, aside from the Phillipsburg blizzard failure, the 2 drives I've done out to Long Island were the most painful that I've done. Don't get me wrong, once the sun set, it was a beautiful drive, and I love the industrial scenery. On paper, this drive should take me about 4 hours from Baltimore, which I planned for the night prior. But this drive took me 8 hours. And I almost didn't make it to the mall on time. To those of you that live in this area, experiencing this traffic on a daily basis, I really do feel for you. This drive wasn't fun, but getting to film the mall was absolutely worth it. I want to give a special shout out and thanks to my patrons and elite explorers who have directly supported me and stuck with me through the years. Thank you all so much. Your support makes trips like this possible. I'm back in my studio, I'm hungry to produce incredible Dead Mall content, and I'm excited to show you all what I've got cooking. Stick around to the end of the episode for news on some new merch that I'm launching and details for a new giveaway that I'm about to kick off. But today, I'd like you all to come take a walk with me through the now shuttered and locked up Sunrise Mall on Long Island in Massapequa, New York. But first, a word from our sponsors, Zachary's Nightclub and The Wiz. Enjoy.
It's elegant. It's exciting. It's exclusive. It's fun. It's sophisticated. It's Zachary's. Share the fantasy.
Great events in Long Island history. Lucky Lindy leaves Long Island for Paris. The Islanders win the Stanley Cup. And now on Long Island, the grand opening of the Wiz at the Sunrise Mall in Massapequa.
Nobody beats the Wiz. Nobody beats the whiz on this sharp 20-inch color monitor TV with remote, unbeatable at $319. On this Panasonic wireless remote VHS VCR, unmatchable at $288. And on this Gold Star 19-inch color TV, unstoppable at $177.
Nobody beats
Grand opening sale now at all 12 Whiz stores.
Welcome back to Long Island. I swore to myself that I would never drive back out here again because of all the disgusting traffic. But when I heard that the Sunrise Mall was closing, and I had some time off because of the holiday season, and when enough people twisted my arm telling me to go film it, I felt that my hand was forced. So here we are at the Sunrise Mall in Massapequa, New York. The history for this mall is fascinating, and there's a lot to it. So let's get right into the historical narrative. Back in the 1970s, the United States was in the midst of its great suburban retail explosion. In the wake of World War II, when families fled to the suburbs, so too did retailers, and we saw the great expansion of enclosed shopping malls. In the early 1960s, Long Island residents had the outdoor Roosevelt Field Shopping Center, but Massapequa city officials expressed interest in developing a new mall in Massapequa Park on a site that was part of the Waterworks of Utilities and Industries Corp. Of New York. Residents hated the idea, and they fought it hard in open hearings. They thought that a new Macy's would destroy traffic in the area, and they didn't want the massive influx of shoppers. This went on for years, and Roosevelt Field took advantage of its sole proprietorship by renovating in 1962, 64, and finally enclosing the mall in 1968. However, by early 1971, S. Joseph Tancouz came through with a clear and direct proposal that the city accepted, and it was announced that Long Island would be receiving a brand new two-story mall. In the summer of 1971, the Tancouz Corporation broke ground on the new mall, which was designed by the Lathrop Douglas firm. The site was pad ready by February of 1972, and the first steel was laid, and the mall began to take shape. In all, construction would take over 2 years to complete, and on the morning of August 30, 1973, the Sunrise Mall would celebrate its grand opening and ribbon-cutting ceremony. The mall opened with 4 senior anchors: JCPenney, Gertz, Macy's, and an EJ Corvette. The 1.4 million square foot mall came in at a cost of $45 million and had an incredible interior. There were tall, chrome pole sculptures arranged across the concourse, which represented a totem pole recounting the life of the legendary chief Takaposha of the Massapequa Indians, which was designed by Alexander Lieberman and Bernard Rosenthal. There were dark wood accents and a landscaped interior with lush greens and live tropical gardens. There was a fantastic fountain and 2 inlaid cement pools. If you ask me, this is how malls should still look today. The bleached out, white, sterile look that malls have taken on is a crime against humanity, and if I ever win the lottery, I'm building a mall the way that they should look, just like they did in the 70s and 80s.
The mood is set. The lights are low. Where's the best place to buy a great stereo?
Corvettes has more of what you're looking for.
At Corvettes, you'll find more than just a couple of famous brand stereos. We've got lots, including the newest by Panasonic, Fisher, and Pioneer. You'll find the newest radios, too, from portables to digital clock radios, plus a whole host of tape recorders.
And look at these low Corvettes prices. What's the team? What's the score? I need a new TV set. What's the best store?
Corvettes has more of what you're looking for.
There's more in store for you at Corvettes, from Panasonic's battery portable TV to Sony's new electronic tuning, plus the latest videotape recorders.
And look at Corvette's little prices.
So for great values on the latest in home entertainment,
Corvettes has more of what you're looking for. There's more in store for you at Corvettes.
Through the 1970s, the Sunrise Mall did phenomenally. The mall would generate an average of over $2 million in taxes for Massapequa each year, while creating nearly 3,600 jobs and carrying a payroll in excess of $3 million. It was a huge win for the city, and locals absolutely loved the mall. The first change, however, would occur on February 5, 1981, when the Corvettes shuttered when the company went bankrupt. The store would sit abandoned for about a year, but by March 20, 1982, an Abraham & Straus, or A&S, opened in its place. Then a few months later, the Gertz chain was absorbed by Stearns, who opened a new store at the Sunrise Mall in the former Gertz space. It was around this time that the mall brought in the ducks to accompany the parrots in its aviary. The ducks would reside in the 2 cement pools, and they were fed goldfish that swam around them. At the start, the ducks and parrots were kind and minded their own business. Newspapers even cited how quiet the mall was in the morning when it first opened, and how there were usually more birds quacking than shoppers. But as the 1980s raged on, the birds would get a bit more reckless. The parrots began shouting curse words at shoppers, which they probably learned from similarly foul-mouthed teenagers. The ducks slowly descended to the depths of insanity, and with their minds completely gone by the late 80s, they weaponized their out-of-control cloacas. There was bird shit on everything. The vengeful ducks would fly around swooping and dive-bombing shoppers, relentlessly chasing people up and down the concourse. And as much as I would have laughed my ass off watching this, it must have been completely chaotic. So by 1992, mall management had enough, and the birds were sent to a sanctuary where they could live out their days among other birds.
Back in the 70s, oh my god. I want one. Hey, Sal, can you go get me a cloaca to a tree to play with? They sound like a boatload of fun. I hope all of yous are having such a wonderful, pleasurable time in this big, beautiful, empty mall with me and Sal. I also want to pour one out for my homie, Jack Rebney, the Winnebago man who sponsored Exlog 100 at the Richland Mall.
Don't slam the fucking door.
He talked like the parrots talked here at Sunrise Mall back in the 70s. He's a very smart and intellectual man with a potty mouth. No.
What do you mean one mother to fall off the fucking thing?
We love him so much, and I love all of you beautiful people, but I gotta go because Sal needs me to go run his Discord server or whatever. I'm gonna go now. See you soon. Bye!
Man, Marna is losing it. She really is. And as a quick side note, if you join my Discord server, you can actually speak with Marna. You can ping Marna and talk to her and have conversations with her. A link for my Discord is down in the description. Come chat with me and come chat with Marna. It's pretty crazy. In the spring of 1995, A&S shuttered operations and went defunct. Then Stearns closed its store in the former Gertz space on March 31 and reopened the next day in the former A&S space on April 1. Some months later, the Gertz turned Stearns space would be occupied by a Sears, which opened on October 28, 1995. Grand opening events included a meet and greet with Paddington Bear, Sonic the Hedgehog, and the Energizer Bunny. There was a free portfolio that went to the first 6,000 adults and balloons for all the kids. There was a fall fashion show, a drawing for a Caribbean cruise, exciting product demonstrations of exercise equipment, power tools, and cooking utensils, and to top it all off, there was an autograph signing with TV's hottest star, Dylan Moody, from the daytime soap opera One Life to Live, played by Christopher Douglas. What a day.
The accoutrement that you will need. Accoutrement? What is that shit?
The following year, Mustang Coos would partner with the Arthur Carter firm and spend over $8 million bringing the Sunrise Mall into the 90s, executing mall-wide renovations that would modernize and optimize the space for its shoppers. Among the aesthetic changes were new entrances and the removal of its dark wood and red tones. They removed the fountain and pools, but took the opportunity to install a koi pond, of which the locals became incredibly fond. There was even a Feed the Fish at Sunrise Mall event every Wednesday night in the late 90s. Sbarro's would whip up a special macaroni treat that they would give to the shoppers to feed the fish. Despite finding new competition in 1997 when the mall at the Source opened up the street in Westbury, the Sunrise Mall was fully anchored with a healthy occupancy and poised to straddle the new millennium. And if you want to see Mall at the Source, I covered it in Exlog 56.
Let's go racing! It's Super Mario Kart Funny Car Madness! Only on Super NES! Turn the track into a giant mud pit! Or hard rubber on ice, wood, or asphalt! Mix it up with the big boys! See Bowser in his Bigfoot pumping truck! See Yoshi's go-kart really go! Mushrooms, banana peels, turtle shells! Dynamite! Check your rear view and make him eat dust! Or go into battle mode and ruin his day! Too speed! Fast and way too fast! It's two-player fun on the split screen! Only for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System! Now you're playing with power, superpower!
While the mall crossed the Y2K line in good shape, it would lose an anchor when the Stearns chain began a months-long liquidation in late 2000, where they sold all of their merchandise at a deep, deep discount. They even sold all of the store fixtures, including the beat-up trash can at the front door, which they had on sale for $40. The store closed on August 18, 2001. It would sit vacant for a couple of years, but on May 28, 2003, a Walmart opened in its place. Mustang Coos decided that it was time to cash out with their powerful new anchor tenant, attracting hordes of people into the concourse. So they began to shop the mall around. They found a buyer in the Westfield Group who purchased the mall in 2005 for a whopping $140 million. That's a $100 million profit, and that's super rare among mall developers. Strong work, Mustang Coos. Great job. It was at this time that the mall was renamed to Westfield Sunrise, and it would receive a slight update in signage and mall entrances to reflect the change. As the mall moved into the 2010s, it would begin seeing less traffic as the country was recovering from the Great Recession between 2007 and 2009. While competitor Roosevelt Field Mall was thriving, adding a luxury wing in 2016 to accommodate its new Neiman Marcus, both the Mall at the Source and Sunrise Mall would begin to see quite a few tenants vacate. The Walmart at Sunrise was coming up to their lease expiration date, and since the company was moving towards a model of offering fresh groceries in their expanded store layouts, they chose not to renew their lease and close the location because they couldn't expand the store, and it closed due to its smaller footprint. The Walmart at the Sunrise Mall closed on March 6, 2015, and that delivered a devastating blow to the traffic that the Walmart once generated. Despite a growing vacancy problem, Westfield was intent on getting Sunrise back on its feet, and between 2017 and 2019, 3 new stores would open in succession at the old Corvettes turned A&S turned Stearns turned Walmart space. The first to open was a Dick's Sporting Goods, dedicated on April 21, 2017. The next to open was a Dave & Buster's on Friday, May 25, 2018. An impressive 2,200 people responded to the Facebook event with 12 positive comments. Dave & Buster's actually rocks, and bringing them in as a junior anchor was a fantastic move by Westfield. But the third tenant to occupy part of the former Corvettes was a Raymore and Flanagan, which opened on Thursday, February 7, 2019. Now on that Facebook event page for their grand opening, there was just one comment. In a mixture of caps and lowercase words and devoid of any punctuation, it read, quote, "I don't know how many times I have to say this, a furniture store never works in this mall. We already had 4 that left put in a movie theater and FYE put more in the food court," close quote. Now, if we're just using that commenter as a sampling of the local population, it doesn't look like the locals were too stoked for a Raymore and Flanagan, and this could have been a big miss by Westfield.
going to be very uncomfortable for everybody. It doesn't make any difference to me at this juncture. We get anybody yelling around here anymore today, and then the is going to hit the fan. Tony, thank you very much.
COVID came, closed down the Westfield Sunrise for months, and then the mall reopened on July 15, 2020. As countless malls and businesses suffered because of the pandemic, Sunrise was no exception. With occupancy already suffering and several businesses unable to reopen after COVID, Westfield decided it was time to bail, selling the mall to Urban Edge Properties in January of 2021 for a meager $29.7 million, which was a massive loss from the $140 million Westfield spent for the property in 2005. Throughout 2020, nearly all inline tenants had vacated the mall concourse, and on October 5, 2021, Sears would shutter. Moving into 2022, it was announced that Urban Edge would be closing down the Sunrise Mall by the end of the year. And by spring of 2022, they announced that they were looking for a new home for their beloved koi fish, which had grown to be quite large and in excess of 50 fish. Half the fish were rehomed to local Nassau County schools, with the other half going to the Long Island Aquarium, where you can visit them and even feed them at a curated display for a nominal fee. I think that's pretty cool, and if any of you do that and are able to take pictures, please let me know on my social media and tag me. I'd love to see those. And here we're going to get our last look at the vacated children's play area that probably shut down because of COVID, and the former koi pond that sits right in back of it. That's what we're looking at right now. If any of you ever got to feed the fish here at the mall, the macaroni treats from Sbarro's, let me know down in the comments or my social media. I'd like to know how that went, or what the treats actually were, because the news articles that I found weren't very specific, they just said macaroni snacks. So let me know.
Sears announces big savings in home entertainment. Save $100 on this 14-day, 8-program video recorder. Sears Best. The picture stays clear in fast speed, freeze frame, or slow motion. Save $70 on this 19-inch color TV with reliable electronic tuning and one-button color, just $379.95. Save $80 on this stereo with digital display. Plays and records cassettes, just $199.95. You can count on Sears.
On December 29, 2022, I showed up to film the mall on what was announced to be its last day in operation. So I'm not sure if any of you could actually make out what that actual real-life mall PA announcement said, but it was security telling people that the mall was closed, but they said, "Have a good evening and come back tomorrow." Now, all across the news, it was stated that this would be the mall's last day. So I got curious and I went to speak with a mall security officer. And the guy was really cool. We chatted for a bit and he said that he's been working there for over 10 years and that they were working with the fire marshal to work out the details on staying compliant with fire codes. And while the concourse was to be locked the following day, the mall PA announcement was actually incorrect. While the concourses were going to be locked from the outside, he said that they were going to try to remain open through January, which is what they did. They did remain open through January, and some of the concourse doors were unlocked, according to local reports that I heard. However, he did say that the mall definitely was closing after January, which it did. Right now, this would be the last time that security would lock up these doors for a conventional mall day, and the Sunrise Mall would lock behind me for the very last time, officially. But at this point now, in May of 2023, the exterior mall entrances are all locked. I have heard, though, that you can still get into the concourse if you enter through one of the remaining anchor spaces, which is only a thing because of fire codes, but I can't confirm this fact. So if you're local on Long Island and happen to venture out over to Sunrise, let me know down below in the comment section or in my social media or my Discord server what's going on. I'd love to know if you can still get inside the concourse here. And I'd also like to be kept up to date on the redevelopment plans that Urban Edge announced. They said they're going to be doing something with the mall, but they didn't actually announce any details. And they have a website that's up that says they're going to be doing something, but when you expand it, it says details are coming soon, and it's incredibly vague. So if you're local, let me know if anything happens with this mall. I'd love to hear from you. I'd like to thank all of you for watching my video and helping me celebrate the premiere for Phase 7 of the Exlog. There's so many incredible locations I can't wait to show you all in this phase. So please make sure to subscribe and ring the bell and follow me across my various social media. Links for everything are all down below. I'm also going to be doing a giveaway for the first time for some sweet Dead Mall stuff. And to enter, all you need to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel and leave a comment. But if you follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook and engage with me on the platform, you can also get one entry for each of those also. You're all eligible for 4 entries total, and I'll pick one winner at the end of the month and reach out to you to coordinate how to ship the prize to you. Keep an eye on my Twitter and Instagram feeds. That's where I'll release what the prize is in the next couple of days. Thank you especially to my patrons who have stuck with me over the years. Your support means the world to me, and I really, really appreciate it. I'm currently in the process of bundling up hundreds of signed Dead Mall photos for those of you that have supported me on that tier. I do apologize for the delay, but they're coming, I promise. If you're a current patron at that tier, please shoot me a DM to confirm your shipping address is the same, or let me know if it's changed. I'll be back soon with Exlog 117, where we'll visit the Lake Forest Mall once again, but this time on its last day open to the public. It was pure madness. Everyone was all over the place, just taking things left and right, and I walked out with a tree that I planted, and it now sits in my living room. You don't want to miss that episode, so please be sure to ring the bell so you get notifications. If you want to chat with me directly though, join my Discord server, home of DMod. We're quickly approaching 4,000 members, and it's a fantastic place where we play Mario Kart on unhinged voice chat nights, and we also organize some Dead Mall meetups. Just go to discord.gg/dmod. You'll have to answer a couple of questions with a moderator, but after that, you're in. Thanks again for the support, Legion. I'll be back soon. But until then, please take care of yourselves, have a good time all the time, and have a fantastic day.
It's elegant. It's exciting. It's exclusive. It's fun. It's sophisticated. It's Zachary's. Share the fantasy.
Great events in Long Island history. Lucky Lindy leaves Long Island for Paris. The Islanders win the Stanley Cup. And now on Long Island, the grand opening of the Wiz at the Sunrise Mall in Massapequa.
Nobody beats the Wiz.
Nobody beats the Wiz on this sharp 20-inch color monitor TV with remote, unbeatable at $319. On this Panasonic wireless remote VHS VCR, unmatchable at $288. And on this Gold Star 19-inch color TV, unstoppable at $177.
Nobody beats
Grand opening sale now at all 12 Wiz stores.
Hey, Legion? You still there? If you are, thank you so much again for coming out to the Phase 7 premiere of the Expedition Log series. I wanted to just say really quick, again, thank you, but I wanted to show you, before I throw it on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, I wanted to show you the prize for the giveaway that I'm doing. It's a piece of the Rolling Acres fountain. It's a piece of the red tile. And I also wanted to show you some merch that I've been working on. I do still have a beta project that I'm working on with a 3D printer where I'm going to start making mall dioramas, like vignettes of different dead malls. The first one I'm doing is going to be for Century 3, where I make the old Ward's Wing, where the fountains used to be. But what I have immediately ready for launch is a series of bookmarks. I have a series of bookmarks from different dead malls featuring leaves from the trees inside those malls. And I want to show you a couple of those really quick, which will go live on my website, salvatoreamadeo.com. But make sure you're following me on Twitter and Instagram at Salvatore Amadeo. Links are all down below because that's where I'm going to launch all this stuff. And my screensaver just went on and everything looks psychedelic. So let me show you these things right now, and then we can all go home. Or you're already home, but whatever, you know what I mean. Okay, so these are the bookmarks. Not all of them are in here because I'm still processing some, I'm still making them. So what we see here are Uniontown Mall, Gold Coast Mall, Center at Glen Burnie, and Chapel Hill. But I also have some from Phillipsburg Mall. I have some from I have 2 right now from the Richland Mall, which are super rare. And I do have some from Century 3. I was able to acquire some palm fronds that are super dry, but they work, which somebody close friend was able to pull them out before the recent fire. So we do have, you know, some of these that are being processed. You got these leaves. I haven't, this isn't finished yet. It'll look more like this when it's finished. So there'll be a black border, the name, and there'll be a tag on top. And here's one from the Richland Mall down in Columbia, South Carolina. They're really nice. They hold up. And a lot of these, I've had the leaves in there for a while, like Center at Glen Burnie. These leaves I've had for years, and they're still good. So I need to process this one, just like a lot of them. This is one of the projects. This will be ready to ship very soon, so stay tuned to my Twitter and keep an eye out for news about when these are ready, because what I'll do is I'll launch these on my website, salvatoreamadeo.com. I'll do like a merchandise tab, and each one's going to get a serial number unique to each item, and we'll arrange how to get them. So that's the bookmarks. That's happening very soon. Again, subscribe to me on Twitter or follow me on Twitter and Instagram. That's where the news will be for that. Okay, now as far as the giveaway goes, so what that's going to look like is it's going to be one piece of a tile from the Rolling Acres fountain. So a piece of red tile. And here's an example. I have a few of these. You'll receive one of these in the mail. It'll be FedEx, it'll be secure mail, and I'll ship this out to you. Whoever wins, you'll get a piece of the Rolling Acres fountain. Here, let me show you a better view of this before we all get out of here, before we FO. All right, so here is the tile piece from Rolling Acres Mall. This is a piece of tile from the fountain. I'm zoomed in pretty far on this so you can get some detail. And I do have a few of these, and I will be giving a few of them away. So once again, if you want one of these, sub to me on YouTube and leave a comment. And you can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and engage over there. And the more engagement, the more entries you've got. So if you want a piece of Rolling Acres history, here it is. It could be yours. I believe the Ehrlich Demolition Company was able to salvage these, and I found them on a marketplace. So yeah, I do have a few of these, and I'll do this probably for the next few episodes. So once again, if you want to win the Rolling Acres piece, subscribe to me on YouTube and engage with the channel, leave a comment. And if you want 3 more chances, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter and engage over there. And I'll pick a random person across all 4 platforms at the end of the month to win this super sick piece of Dead Mall lore. So I hope to hear from a bunch of you, and may the luck of the Irish smile on all of you. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Peace out, Legion.